From the Open Voice Network, Voice Chats. We host conversations on tech, retail, commerce, and inclusion around voice. Today's topic, how and why retailers should be looking at voice, with Vicki Cantrell, Global Executive and Strategist in the retail industry and CEO at Vendors in Partnership, and Milan Turk, former Vice President at Procter Gamble and creator of P&G's Future of Shopping, Future of Selling, and Future of Retailing plans. Voice Chats from the Open Voice Network, dedicated to voice assistants worthy of user trust.
Tell me about those examples you were sharing about things you've uncovered about use of voice.
Yeah, I think that retailers are really looking for opportunities. They know it's coming, and you and I have talked about this before. The goal is, what's the goal first? The goal is make it convenient, frictionless. How are you helping the consumer? You know, we've always talked about no shiny objects. Don't do something for the sake of just doing it. Really understand how it makes it convenient for the consumer, so they'll adopt it. You know, we talk about adoption all the time too. You know, there was that example of Bevmo who did this voice through Amazon Echo and shelf lighting and POS and all of these things. And it was really to help a consumer pick whiskey. And you had to use your voice and ask several questions, and then it would direct you to the right place. But what we really heard about that kind of trial is that consumers feel funny talking to a shelf, and that they also usually know what they want when they come in, and they can ask for help because there's always, you know, associates around. So I thought that was interesting, and we can unpack why that didn't work and what was the planning to decide that's what we should do.
I love that example, and I used to use it in my own presentations that I made as I talked to people about the future of retail.
Yeah.
Because so few people had actually seen a voice-enabled shelf, and yes, it was a little clunky with the Alexa device, the kind of bolted on in a secure way to the spot on the shelf. I'm sure we'll improve the technology, but I love the words you used: frictionless, convenience, and just helping the shopper. I sort of throw all of those in the pot, and I come back with, how do we use voice to make things simpler and easier for the shopper? Particularly, many of us haven't had the luxury of spending a lot of time in front of a shelf right now in the pandemic environment.
Yeah.
So we're looking for things. Just shopping shouldn't add more stress to our daily lives. And voice is among the most natural means of communication that we have. So I think retailers who are really penetrating this idea of making things as simple and easy for the shopper just to say yes, find what they're looking for, add it to their list, put it in their basket, have it delivered or picked up, as we're seeing increasingly, will recognize that voice is a big ingredient in that simplification. Less cognitive engagement required, you know?
Yeah, and it's a good point. And I think the best examples of that is, look at how consumers are using voice now, period. How do I get somewhere? How do I make my shopping list? The adoption of those convenience things is huge. So if I go into, and food is just, as you know, everything to do with grocery and food during this pandemic has really taken off. People needing meals, curbside, all of that stuff. And, you know, I heard another example using Amazon Echo's earbuds, where you can go into a grocery store and voice, say, where is, you know, crushed tomatoes, or even better, I'm making this recipe. Where are, what aisles are all of this in? Talk about convenience. This would be
wayfinding.
Yeah, it would be a game changer versus taking out your phone, doing the, you know, and your grocery list is on your phone. So there's so much opportunity for those key things. Why are you doing it? Make convenience for the consumer and help them.
You know, we not to say that we're old, but we've both been around enough in these kinds of big initiatives that we know that the playbook for enabling more retailers to pursue that is really takes the route of some industry standards, sharing the experiences that a retailer might have, and how did they do that wayfinding? How did they set up the system that allowed the voice interaction? So I think we're going to reach a point pretty soon where so many retailers see the value in pursuing that voice-enabled capability to make it easier for shoppers.
Yeah.
I think what they're going to encounter is how do I get my systems ready? How do I get the technology, access to the technology? What's actually the entry point for my company to begin offering a voice service? And I think that's why things like open standards and sharing more about the experience is going to become very important.
It's kind of why, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on it too. It's kind of why I became involved with the Open Voice Network. Retailers are so resilient, and they get up every day and figure out how they deal with whatever is in front of them.
Thank goodness.
Yes, yes. And, I feel like we want the retailers to be able to control how they represent their brand in voice, how they can serve the community, the consumer, the best possible way without restrictions. So what I love about OVN is that we want to keep the technology open and objective and ethical. And so, I think it's important enough that this is why I stay involved.
Yeah, and I tell you, I so appreciate the fact that you have a deeper insight on the retailer side. Myself, I've always built my career sort of on 3 points. One is keep the consumer at the center. What do they need?
Yeah.
Build value. So don't, particularly because I look at the next level of technology or digitization, building value, not just cost. And the third thing, be a force for good. And I think that the Open Voice Network sort of hits on all three of those things, bringing in, of course, how the retailer will offer this as a capability. But again, that game plan of open standards, focused on a key problem, delighting the consumer, making shopping easier, building bigger baskets. Do it in a way that we don't all have to do it individually. A little bit of industry scale will bring value faster, and be a force for good. We're not trying to take anyone's technology or capability. We're just trying to build the open standards so that this capability can flourish in the industry. It will be better off. Oddly, 2020 is probably going to give a real boost to the adoption of voice.
I agree. Yeah, I absolutely agree. And, it's fun. People, it hasn't been a tremendously heavy lift because of the more people we get involved in being able to voice, this is working, this isn't, this is what we really need, and have them guiding us, the better off we'll be. And many hands make light work.
I hope I suspect we haven't even heard from all the thinkers on what issues they've identified. I hope we continue to build our community.